Hi folks, welcome back to Backyard Aviary Adventures. This is a video about what birds we put together in our aviary, which birds live together quite well and which ones don't so much.
I'm going to try and do this video in some kind of order. Initially I'll do the small birds. I'll try and do them from most easygoing up to most aggressive, and then I'll go on to the floor dwelling birds. So I'm going to start from the most easygoing birds in the aviary, some Bengalese Finch. These are really gregarious birds, they all spend a lot of time together. We haven't had that many breed in our aviary. It's probably only because our zebra finches and our canaries seem to monopolise the nests a little bit. Bengalese Finch don't seem to cause any trouble at all. They occasionally bicker between themselves, but that seems to be about it. The next birds have a very similar temperament, and these are African Silverbills. We only have a handful of these. I think I have 5 currently, and they seem to keep themselves to themselves, very occasionally hang around with the Bengalese Finch. Otherwise they are pretty easygoing. The next birds are related to the Bengalese Finch, and these are Spice Finch. I only have 1 pair of these. They're currently not actually in the aviary, but they have been in the past. These are also pretty easygoing. I've never seen them argue with anyone. Another bird that I've moved in with the Spice Finch into the little cage by the bird room is Grassfinch. These are very friendly birds with each other. I've seen them bicker a little bit between themselves, but they don't seem to bother any other of the birds. Back to birds we still currently have in the main aviary are diamond doves. These are pretty good with other birds. The males will chase after each other during the breeding season and they'll scrap, but generally they are pretty good. Moving on, we've come to the bird we have the most of in the aviary, which is zebra finch. These can definitely bicker between themselves. They're never horrendously violent, but they'll certainly scrap, usually over food, and the males will scrap over females or their nests. The next birds are canaries. Generally throughout the winter these are fine, but as soon as it gets to breeding season they will be quite nasty to each other. The males will fight. Strangely though, we've had ones breed and the males share responsibility of the young. Next I will include Goldfinch Mules. We only have 2 of these in there, both female. I've had no trouble with them as yet. Now I'm going to move on to British finches. I'll start with Goldfinch. We have 2 birds. I'm not actually convinced either of them is female, but I don't know. There's been much debate online when I've posted up photos. Regardless, they seem pretty fine with the other birds in the aviary. They will bicker between themselves occasionally. The next birds are Greenfinch. The male can be quite aggressive to other birds, especially at the bird feeders. The only bird it doesn't seem to bother is the weaver. Continuing with the British species, I will include Redpoll. These seem pretty good with other birds in the aviary, but will occasionally bicker between themselves. The same goes for Siskin, which are very similar birds. I actually really like the temperament of the Siskin. They do seem quite friendly to us. Lastly, the 2 birds you would imagine would be the most aggressive. The first being Java sparrows. I was initially reluctant to get Java sparrows because I'd heard about them being aggressive with the smaller birds. I have not had that experience. The 3 birds I have not caused any trouble at all. This may be because they are in a big aviary, I'm not sure. Lastly, the most aggressive small bird in the aviary, which is our black-headed weaver. He is on his own, but he can be quite aggressive to the other birds. 90% of the time is okay, but if he doesn't want a bird on the branch next to him, he'll peck them till they go. He will certainly take over bird feeders and will not allow other birds to eat near him. Beyond this aggression, we haven't seen anything else. He's obviously not injured any other of the birds, otherwise I would have taken him out. Moving on to the floor dwelling birds, we will start with the smallest ones, which are the Chinese painted quail. These are okay generally. When we've introduced new quail into the aviary, the males can become quite aggressive. Also, the males in breeding season will chase the females down and forcibly mate with them. The next birds are our golden pheasants, Jack and Sally. These birds are not at all violent or aggressive. they are actually pretty oblivious to most of the birds around them. It's almost as if they think they're on their own. And lastly, the biggest bully in the aviary, which is Bob, our bobwhite quail. He is generally only aggressive towards the pheasants. Strangely, he doesn't bother any of the smaller birds, but will be aggressive towards Jack and Sally. Not to a point where he hurts them, but he'll certainly chase them round and try to peck them now and again. So these are the species we keep together in our big aviary. We have had other birds in the past, including cherry finch, red-headed finch, bullfinch and chaffinch. But I've only documented the birds we currently have living together in our aviary. I hope this helps with other people mixing birds together. Bear in mind, everything we've mentioned in this video is based on the birds we have put together in a very large aviary and everything we have personally experienced. So just treat this as a guideline. Thanks for watching, and please like and please subscribe. Next one's an adventure.